Hi everybody, so I'm here today to do a walk around of my Hilux. I get asked lots of questions on my Instagram page about my car. It's nothing very special to me, there's so much work still to be done, but I thought I would do a walk around and show you guys what I've done so far. It's a 2005 Hilux, 12th month 2005 SR Dual Cab. Purchased back in March 2017. It's been a bit of a budget build due to money constraints. I've spent money where needed and cut back where I didn't need it to get it where it is today. I've recently swapped out the tub from the tray and I'm loving it. Right, so we'll start from the back. Since I swapped out the tray for the tub, I still have not got my tow bar back on. I had to get new brackets because I had the raised tow bar brackets on the tray. They're still sitting around the side of the shed, haven't put in, so that's why the plug there is still hanging down. It's all cable tied up. And we'll start from the tub. So I've just got a piece of ply on the tailgate for the moment. I've actually got a sheet of stainless that needs to get cut to size to put on there. Just haven't got around to doing that yet. Everything that's in the tray, in the tub, has been used from the tray. So my drawer was in my tray, the fridge and fridge slide was also in the tray. Battery box up the back there was also in the tray. I just didn't really want to spend too much more money, so I used what I had. So the first thing we'll look at is the drawer. It's just a 4-drive Supercenter drawer, 900 long. I've had a few issues with this drawer. It's a bit, the wood's gone spongy underneath. This bit here keeps falling off. It's actually where the screw is up the back there's come out again. I had to do that back up before we left for camping on the weekend. Now in my drawer is a mess. Basically I got all my plates, cups, cutlery, chopping boards, all sorts of stuff in there. Underneath that is my washing up tub and all my washing up stuff. At the back there I've just got some clip seal bags, some foil. My oil is in a clip seal bag, the Coles oil leaks. We've got herbs and spices, bits and pieces in here, fire starters, mozzie coils, tongs which I forgot to wash up. I've got my little hiking stove, which when we don't take the big stove I just use that to boil water for cuppers, some powdered milk, pancake mix we didn't use over the weekend, my Cedar Summit Sigma pot, which is actually my hiking pot. Dad actually ran it over the other day. You can see it's a bit out of shape. I forgot that it had fallen under the car in the shed and he reversed out and ran over it. But I hammered it mostly back into shape. That's my little rechargeable bug killer. Now I've just held this drawer down by riv nuts. Most people bolt it straight through the tray, but I want to be able to take everything out easily, so I've just riv nutted it under there through there instead of bolting it in so it can come out easily, and same as the fridge slide. So this is just the Engel Fridge. It was actually Dad's old work fridge that he gave to me to use because he didn't need it anymore. I switched the lid to open out this way, instead of the other way because it was awkward trying to walk back around that side to get everything out, so I switched the lid around to open this way. And in there we've just got bits and pieces. I bought a basket for the top. It helps just organise everything a bit better when we go away. All the little stuff gets put up the top. Now this is actually the old style Engel that's got the 240 volt plug and the 12 volt plug. The new ones only come with the 12 volt plug. I've broken a couple of these clips, so I keep a spare one in the glove box. Now at the back here is a mess at the moment. That's my battery box, just a voltage battery box from Autobarn when I worked there. I had, I think it was a projector or an Arc brand one, and it didn't fare very well in the weather. This one here has been wet so many times. The battery voltage meter still works. The other one died within the first week, so I ended up getting this one. Even though everything looked the same, the components must be a bit better quality. It was only, I think it was $100 from work. Now I've actually swapped out one of the 12 volt plugs there. I've actually swapped it for the Engel plug, which tightens in there because the normal 12 volt plug just kept falling out all the time. So that one's nice and secure. It screws in like that. You actually just pull the end off the normal cigarette lighter plug that comes on the cord, and it gives you your Engel plug, which allows it to screw in like that. Now for water storage at the moment, all I've got is the 25 litre drum there that I got from Bunnings, I think it was, for about 20 bucks. I've put a tap and hose on there just to run that out the back for now. I know I've used garden hose, but we don't actually drink that water. It is just for washing up and showers, etc. We usually just buy bottled water to take camping with us, so I don't really care that there's a garden hose on there for now. I do plan on getting a big water tank that goes right across the headboard, but they're about $450, so not cheap, and I don't have that money to spend at the moment. That's just the camp toilet in the back there. Haven't taken it out since we went camping on the weekend. Now over this side I've just got my little 2 kilo gas bottle. I was always taking the big 9 kilo one, but I found since I put the tub on I have got less room, obviously, not by much, but I need to try and compact everything as much as I can, so we generally just take the little 2 kilo one. We're never usually away for more than a weekend anyway, so that does, like, holds plenty of gas for the gas stove and the Weber if we decide to take the Weber as well. So I'll just pull that out of the way. That's just my camp chair that I also haven't taken out. Now this little baggie here, I got it off eBay. I'll just pull it out so I can show you what's in there. It's pretty heavy, so I just got to put the camera down. Alright, so that's the canvas bag. It's 61 centimeters long. It was 20 bucks off eBay with free postage, so pretty good. But in here I have got my axe or hatchet that needs sharpening. It's very blunt. Hammer for the tent pegs, obviously. In here, in this little bag, I've got my straps for my Darche 180 awning and the extra guy ropes. I keep my 2 12 volt strip lights in there, both XTM brand. Now Mum made me this tent bag, which was a good size until I ended up with all of these pegs and then everything wouldn't fit. So that one's got all the old sand pegs and the normal metal sand pegs. And then I've got my Fiskars saw, and then all my big sand pegs, because we camp at the beach a fair bit during winter and it's pretty windy. Cape Palmerston especially, we need the big pegs to keep everything held down. So I just got this bag to be able to store everything in it, which fits perfectly into that little gap there. Just makes life a bit easier trying to sort everything out. Now that little green bag there is just the metal poles for the rooftop tent windows. Now I've had issues with trying to use them with the awning here on the back. I can't actually get them in to the side windows, and the one over this side is okay. I can put that up, no worries, except when my 180 awning is out, because the 180 awning actually opens up across the tent, and then the back of the awning is too close to the tent to be able to put them in. It's a bit of a pain, but I love my 180 awning. I don't really want to go back to a rectangular awning, just because it offers so much extra space and shade for us, so we just make do. So the next thing I'll tell you about is the Osru tub rack. These grey bits here actually hold my Max Tracks, but I don't have them on the car at the moment. It's really hard to try and reach into the side of the tub with the Max Tracks on there. So I've just taken them off while we don't need them, basically, because I haven't been forward driving much lately because I am still having issues with this axle. As you can see, all that dirt caked around my wheels is my leaky axle seal, and I've apparently got a bent axle, so that needs to be fixed before I can do any more off-roading. But the tub rack I got straight off PPD Performance. It's a full height universal rack. I don't actually have those lights hooked up yet. It's a winter job. I hate working on the car in summer because it's so bloody hot. Now I actually had the tent opens up this way. I did actually have it opened up that way when I first put it on the car, but then I couldn't open my 180 awning on the other side of the car because the tent is wider when it's spun round the other way, so I had to put it out this way to open up this way, which is why I got the awning for the back, because that's supposed to be my food cooking area, and I just needed some shade over there. That awning is a bit of a pain in the butt. It hits the fridge lid when it opens, and I can't get them side bits in for the window, obviously. But the tub rack is a full height one. I've got it set that far up. Basically what I wanted to do was try and keep the tent as level with the roof of the car as I could, so I didn't have any issues driving under the shopping centres and everything. So far it's been okay. There is some parts I can't go, but otherwise it's sitting at a really good height. I don't really want to raise it up anymore, obviously, because the car becomes a bit top heavy as well, and being off-road, like, the car already feels like it's too tippy as it is without putting that tent up even higher. I've had a few issues with the powder coat actually peeling off here. You can see in some spots there, around here. I don't know if you can see that. It's just been peeling off in strips. I'll probably end up Raptor coating the tub rack eventually. I actually Raptor coated the whole inside of this tub by myself. Prepping took a long time. I was really worried to paint, but it turned out pretty good for a backyard job, and considering I had no idea what I was doing. Now, we haven't got all the bolts in yet. As you can see, there's still a couple of bolts missing. The bolt was actually hitting that part there, so we need to grind that out a bit to be able to get the bolt in, but again, they're just riv nutted in. We just used a kin chrome riv nut tool that I borrowed off my brother's best friend, who's a mechanic that's been doing all the work to my car. But it is it is bolted in against the inside of the tub there as well, in all four corners, just to make sure that it's not going to come off. Now the next thing we'll talk about is the roof rack. This is actually a Rhino Rack Pioneer platform. It is a universal platform that I actually had on my old roof rack system, which was just the bars that go straight across the car. It comes with special mounts that they attach to, but one day at work I had this bright idea that I would see if the N80 backbone fit, which is what this is. It's actually an N80 backbone, and I made that work. I just got the extra bars, don't know if you can see through there, these bits up here. I had to add them in because the universal rack didn't have them there, so I've added them in to be able to mount it to the top of the backbone. But Rhino Rack are apparently doing an N70 backbone now, which is made especially for the car, for the N70 Hiluxes. It is looking a bit worse for wear up the top here. I've got a lot of paint coming off. It's faded heaps, but my car's always out in the sun, so it's pretty much to be expected. Now this platform is actually a bit skinnier in width than one that they would actually recommend for the car. I've had a few issues trying to get a light bar up the front of the car. I wanted to put a light bar up in there. I got the steady light bar mount brackets, but because my rack is a bit skinnier than what that normally is, I think they're normally 1236 wide, and this one's 1146 or something like that. I haven't actually been able to find a light bar that is going to fit with the mounts because it's a bit of an awkward size, so I'll get there eventually. But I've ordered three light bars so far, thinking that they'll fit, and none of them have fitted, so I've put that in the too hard basket for now. Now the snorkel there is actually a fiberglass snorkel. It was made by my ex-partner. He actually made one for his Hilux, and then we decided we'd make one for mine as well. So it looks like a Stano snorkel. I get asked all the time, where do I get my Stano snorkel from? It's actually fiberglass, not stainless, which is good in a way because it doesn't get all the heat soak, and it works well. It's a bit of an overkill for my car, seeing I don't have a tune or anything, but you can see how big that hole is there. The window visors, they come from Ocam Accessories. I had another set that I ordered off eBay and they were bloody terrible. The plastic looked all bumpy. They basically just fell off the car within a week. I was not very happy. I messaged the seller and he offered me a $5 refund, so I was just like, screw you, and ordered some off Ocam instead. They have been awesome. I haven't had any issues with them. They look nice and neat and tidy, and they help stop the rain dripping in the car if I've got the window down a bit. So yeah. Alright, to the suspension. Now I've got the Cal Off-Road RG Colorado springs in the back. Anybody that's followed me on my Instagram page, Miss Lux 4x4, you'll know that I had a few issues with the shackles on the back. That bolt there got taken out because the bolt was actually hitting up under there, which you can see there. It's left a line across there, so we've taken those bolts out of both shackles on both sides. Fat Bars also told me to take out the bolts through the retainers here, so I've taken them out on both sides. That one there, you can see the line across there. It was just hitting up there like constantly. It was a big pain in the bum. I've got the Bilstein shock, so all these I got off, what's his name, Dylan Crofts. I think it cost about $2,000. My old My old leaf springs we actually took out, they were so stuffed, they just fell apart in our hands when we pulled them out. They were terrible, and the shocks were that bad I could push them down and pull them out by my hand, so it really needed to be done. It's made a huge difference to the ride difference in the car, to the ride quality. It rides so much better now. Now, front suspension. Again, we've got the Call-Off Road Silver Bilsteins, or Platinum I think they're called. They are actually, they were supposed to be set at 3 inch, but I think they're actually set at 4 inch, but they got put in at the end of 2018. I think the shocks are actually a bit buggered, because you can see it's not really sitting like a 4 inch lift or a 3. I've got the Black Hawk upper control arms there. Just trying to get this camera to focus. So I've got the Black Hawk upper control arms there. I actually put them in because I wanted to put 33s on the car, but I've had so many issues with wheel alignments, and I just couldn't get the 33s on. I was going to have to hack up way too much guard in there to try and get them on. I don't know why, my car just likes to be difficult with everything. Over on this side you can see my tyres still scrubbing, even though that they're pushed as far forward as they can. It's actually ripped a big chunk out of my flare, so I need to actually try and cut that out anyway, even though I've only got the 32s tyres on there at the moment. The Toyo Open Countries. Not really a big fan of these tyres. I like my Dixie Pex heaps better, but I needed new tyres, and it was all during COVID, and that was pretty much the only decent tyre I could get, so that's what got put on there. Now under here I've got the Fat Bars bash plate there, and then I don't know if you can see much under there, but I've got there's a Fat Bars diff drop as well. I do have the other plate to put under there as well, but another thing that I haven't got around to doing, I had to replace my sway bar rubbers. Everyone keeps telling me to take your sway bar out, but the car's already so tippy, I don't really want to take the sway bar out. So it's staying in there. The moths keep laying eggs on my car. Very annoying. Now I've got the Muzzbar on there now. All I ever wanted was a Muzzbar, and I replaced my ARB bar with the Muzzbar. This is an awesome bar. Now I put that on all by myself. One of my friends come around and helped me undo my old bull bar, which was the ARB one, but I was so determined to get this Muzzbar on because I'd wanted one for so long. I sat there in the backyard for hours and hours and hours, and I was sore for a week after putting it on. It was so much effort for somebody that doesn't have much muscle and didn't know what they were doing. I still actually have to hook the winch power up. I still haven't got around to doing that, so that's why my lead's hanging down there, so I'll get there eventually. It's just too bloody hot to do anything on the car at the moment. Now I've got the Fat Bars sliders here. They are awesome. I cannot recommend them enough. They are so strong and they are so solid. You can see there I actually had Iron Man side steps on there. We went up to Kathu, which is out of town from Mackay, and I hit something and it hit the bottom of the side step, and the big checker plate that ran across there actually bent up and smashed into my car there. You can see there, but it's pretty bad. But after that I was just like, nah, these are going. I'm getting sliders, because they'd hooked me up a few other times as well. I'd been stuck on rocks and everything from the side steps. So just a note for anybody that's trying to decide between rock sliders and side steps. They were a bit of a pain because I've got 2 kids. They were a bit of a pain for the kids to get in and out of, but they're taller and used to them now, so I don't miss the side steps at all. They're terrible. That's my little custom badge there. It's actually, I don't know if you can tell in the video, but it's actually pink, but it's gone all cracked and crazy now. I actually used gel nail polish to make it pink. I just ordered the black badges off eBay. I think they were $40 for a full set. Now I keep getting told your fuel flap's open, your fuel flap's open, but the reason it's open is I don't actually have a cable run to there at the moment, because the Hilux come from factory with a tray. Then I found paperwork in my car when it was about 6 months old. They actually had taken it to Toyota and put a tub back on it. So Toyota had told me, oh no, you're not going to be able to do that because there is no lever there for your fuel flap. And I'm like, but there is a lever there for your fuel flap. And then I since found out that a tub was actually put back on the car to replace the factory tray. So, and it was done by Toyota, so all the lever and everything's still in there. But in order to run the cable from the lever all the way back out here, I need to pull my interior out to run the cable under the floor, because it runs underneath all the seats and everything. So that's another job for winter, because I want to put some sound deadener all through the floor as well, just so I get so much road noise inside. It's only an SR, so I've only got the vinyl floors in there. So yeah, I get heaps of road noise. Be nice to try and cut some of that out. Between the road noise, the wind noise from the roof rack, the tyre noise, it's pretty loud inside. Interior, not much happening in here. I've got some neoprene seat covers. These were just cheapies off eBay. I did have good ones on there for a couple of years, but they got all worn out. I had to replace them. I didn't have much money, so I just got these $40 Darche ones off eBay. They're very thin. They're not very good quality, but they do the job for now. Between the kids and me always being a grub, the seats need to be covered. Plus we swim a lot, seeing we're on the coast, so the neoprene seat covers work good. I'll get a better set next time when these ones are properly worn out. Not much else happening in here. I've got a phone mount up there. You can see my massive crack in the windscreen there. My windscreen was only a week old. I got where is it? There's a big chip there, so I got that one. Another one up there, and there was a small one along there somewhere as well. The windscreen was only a week old when that happened, and I was like, oh, I'm not getting a new windscreen. So it's eventually just cracked. It's cracked all the way along there. I'll probably get a new one at tax time. It's my grips. I don't know if the camera's focusing real well there. It's having a bit of trouble. I don't like those big washers. I will fix that up eventually. I got my iDrive with the pink face. I got that when I worked at Autobahn as well. I've got the Alpine screen. It's really hard to see. There you go, it's a bit better. You can put a photo of your car there. That's a really old photo of my car there. I haven't updated it to a new one. Just put a photo on a USB stick and pop it in there, and you can upload it as your screensaver. UHF down there, that was in the car when I got it as well. So I've had the car since March 2017, so it's almost been 4 years. Just been slowly plodding along, doing little things to it. I want to replace that with one of the GME XRS Connects, but it's not urgent. I don't really use a UHF that often, so I haven't bothered to do that yet. Stubby cooler from 4 Drive Stubbies, actually won them. I've got another one somewhere, I'm not sure where it is. That's one of my favourite photos of my car I've ever taken. That's my brother's car in the background there, his Prado, and that was at Kathu as well. That was actually the day that my side step got hit and smashed up into my door. So I've just got a USB cord for the phone. Not much happening back here. We got stuff from the rooftop tent sitting in the back and beer. And all my grips. I've got a set of 6. They're pretty good, those. I hated the hard plastic ones because I was always bumping my head on them. My aircon's actually playing up at the moment. It keeps going hot and cold, which is a pain in the arse when it is like 30 plus degrees every day here in Mackay. Actually, my other half broke that. I've got the magnetic clip for the hand grip, and I haven't bothered to fix it up. The screw's actually fallen off inside there. I'll fix that up eventually too. I've got a big long list of to-dos for this car. As soon as the weather gets a bit cooler, just got a RM Williams steering wheel cover on there. Pink, of course. Had to put something girly in the car. It's been an awesome steering wheel cover, that. I'm not really a fan of steering wheel covers, but this one's been really good. Cup holder's broken. Another thing I need to fix. There's nothing over that side. Because it's only an SR, there was never a cup holder over this side. I was going to put a cup holder in there, but the tab that actually holds where the screw goes through for the cup holder is actually broken up in there. My auntie had knocked this out and I've got no idea where it ended up, so it was in the car and then it just disappeared. So right now I've got a big hole. Not sure what brand my speakers are, but they go alright. There's actually, I've got a sub over that side at the back of the seat there. It's only a small, I think it's a Pioneer Active sub. It's only like a little 6 inch or 8 inch or something. It's not very big. Gives a bit of bass. I've always had decent stereos, so I was happy that all that was in the car when I bought it. It was actually part of the reason I wanted this car, because it had a pretty good stereo in it. So yeah, just some rubber mats down there. Nothing exciting. Right, we'll take a look under the bonnet. That switch there is actually for, I've got an LED light strip hooked up in the tub rack. So the ignition needs to be on, but I can just turn that on and off. I actually need to move it when you turn it on and you're standing at the tailgate area. It is absolutely blinding. It shines straight in your eyes. So I need to move that into a different spot. That's my driving light switch. The driving lights in the bull bar aren't actually hooked up yet. That's another job that needs to be done. So we'll take a look under the bonnet, which is absolutely nothing interesting. Sorry about that, it's a bit tight. Right, so pretty grubby under here. Oh, I should take better care of the engine bay, but I don't. So I've got the gas struts. It's probably one of the best mods I've done. They make life so much easier trying to put the bonnet up. It also gets rid of the stupid stick bit that usually holds it up, so it's not in your way when you're trying to work on the car. Now I've got a catch can there that was donated by my dad. The catch can drain hose just goes from there down into the chassis with a tap attached to it. I have so many oil leaks under here that need to be fixed. It is ridiculous. As you can see, got oil everywhere. The intercooler is leaking. More oil leaks. I had the injectors done at the end of 2018. I think they've got about 80,000 Ks on them now, but all that is going to have to come out and get resealed. That's just the fuse block for my UHF and my light bar. Now, this here is from my dual battery. I do not have my dual battery under here anymore for that reason. Just the weight, corrugations when I went to Cape York has cracked all of this. It's been welded up and it just kind of continues to keep cracking. That the injector ECU is just hanging there because the way the dual battery was set up, it actually had a bracket that attached to on the side. I need to try and get a hold of another bracket to hook it back up to the firewall there. Just write the dates and the K's on the oil filter when I change the oil. Just helps me remember when it needs to be done next. There's a whole heap of cable here. That's for my winch, which I will hook up soon. The flares, which I forgot to mention earlier, they're from Utmart. They're the 40mm wide and the 040 white. The steelies, they're just, I think they are dynamic Wilcos, just in the round hole. And they are a 16x8. Other thing I forgot to mention, I've just got the fridge cord running from down there. It gets hooked up through there, that just velcros up that part there. And then it just runs at the back. I've got a little bungee and then down to the battery box. Just helps the cord stop getting caught up in anything. It looks a bit messy. I don't know really what else to do with it at the moment until I've got everything set up properly in the back. So that's about it, I think. The flares on the tub are just the factory SR5 flares. I paid $100 for the tub with flares, mud flaps, lights. It was a bargain. It was in pretty good condition. There's a couple little dents and a scratch on the other side, but nothing too major. That there was from my tray. It had the circle type handles for the sides to go up and down. They always just swing around and hit the car. I just got the Anderson plug attached to the power that goes to the battery box. C-Tech, just so I can unhook that easily as well. It's not like permanently stuck in there. And the little black cap that goes on top if I pull it off. That's the LED light strip I mentioned earlier. I'm not really sure where to put that, but I need to move that so it stops blinding us when we're standing at the tailgate. I'll do a separate video on the 23.0 rooftop tent. It's the 23.0 Dakota. It's 1400 wide rooftop. Just the June 4 drive 1.4 meter awning, 2 meters out. And then that's my Darche 180 awning. So it flips out another 2 meters that way of the car, and then another 2 meters that way, so you've basically got 6 meters along the car of shade. The middle part's kind of rectangular shape, the edges are like triangular shape, and I also purchased the big wall that goes around it, and it's so good when the weather's crappy. It just gives us so much shelter. And I'll also do another review on that one, show setup and everything. It's pretty easy. And I forgot to mention, these are made by ProRack, the recovery tracks. They come in the box. You get all different mounting options. You can put them on roof baskets, your normal roof bars. I did have them up on the platform, which I kind of had to dodgy up to get them up there, but it worked. And at the moment I've just got these just bolted through there with the washer in 2 spots to hold them to the tub rack. Alright, so under the car we've got a long range tank. Looks pretty shitty at the moment. I keep cleaning that and putting like chassis black on it, but it just gets filthy and looks shit again. The tank is a pretty shit design. It is in the way of everything down there. It made the suspension really hard to do. As you can see, it drops down pretty low. I'd love to get an ARB long range tank, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. This tank is just a pain in the ass. But yeah, I don't know what brand it is. It was put in by TJM before I had the car. They've mod plated it, but I don't know what brand the actual tank is because it just says that the guy supplied the tank, so I'm not really sure where it's from. I've got a leaky diff seal. I'll just zoom in on there, see if I can get it to focus. Can't really tell, but yeah, that's leaking. That needs to be fixed too. And then that's the wheel. All that shiny stuff is my axle seal leaking. I probably should check my diff oil. There's probably not much left in there for the amount of time it's actually been leaking. PPD exhaust. Had to get it chopped off. It was actually hitting on the shackle at the back there when I first put it on. That was when I had the tray on the car. Just ended up chopping it shorter. Didn't really make much of a difference to the sound or anything, so didn't really matter, but at least it wasn't vibrating against the shackle. It actually ruined the grease nipple on the shackle, so I had to replace that as well after I chopped the exhaust off. I've just had all the uni joints done. Got a new center bearing. I need to space that center bearing down, so I need to get bigger bolts, just space it with some washers or something just to correct the angle of the tail shaft, because it's on a pretty bad angle, which you can't really tell from where I'm laying, but it's just causing the center bearing to wear too quickly. The other one was all cracked. It was pretty terrible. It was making a shit of a noise, so I got it replaced. Then when I got it replaced, this one was squealing its ass off for ages. Sprayed a heap of WD-40 in there, which eventually stopped it, but definitely need to space that down to correct the angle, because I've got a shudder as well. Especially like when change first, second, third, you can really feel it shudder along the drive line. I just need to pull those bolts out. I'm not sure what size the bolt thread is, so I've got to pull them out, get somebody to take me down to Bunnings or wherever to get some new bolts so I can actually fix that up. So yeah, new unis in there. The other ones, they were really bad too. They pretty much just fell apart. The car's been neglected for a little while. Very important to keep up maintenance, which I know, but when you're short of money, it's hard to keep the maintenance up when you don't actually have the money to do it. And not much else to see over here. I really need to clean the underneath of the car and get some paint on it to stop it from rusting even more. I don't know if you can actually see that on my cross member there. I've got a very bad rust hole, which we found when we were putting the diff drop in. Yeah, not good. Oh, and I got the Super Pro heavy duty sway bar links in there as well. I've had all the boots done on the CV, so they're nice and new, not leaky. That's the diff drop from behind, there and there. And I also had a new clutch put in at the end of last year as well, so that's nice and good now. It was slipping bad, the old one, so that needed to be done pretty urgently. Yeah, that's it for the underneath.